Morning everybody, Silvolt here, back for the Transformers review. Going to be doing Energon Snowcat. Okay, this is purely going to be about Snowcat, mainly because I'll probably do Cyclonus when and if I get a Cyclonus toy. Energon Snowcat is the reformatted version of Cyclonus. Now, in Transformers Energon, after they've found Megatron and they've got Megatron back, Cyclonus suffers very crippling damage, and Megatron, in a moment of insanity, reformats him into Snowcat, because Megatron has the power of Unicron within it. So very G1-ish ability, very G1 very 1986 movie ability, and the episode of Starscream's Ghost, never mind. So reformats him into Snowcat, which is, as you can quite obviously tell, a Snowcat. Obviously not, Megatron's not the most original when it comes to names. Where he gets the idea to transform Cyclonus into a Snowcat from, I don't know, but he does. And Snowcat is presented as very much the same as his original generation, as his original Armada personality, in that he's pretty much next to flaming useless. Now, Armada Cyclonus has this thing where he cackles incessantly, constantly, annoyingly, and Snowcat replaces that with yodeling. What the American writers were doing with the Unicron trilogy, in certain instances, is absolutely sodden beyond me. They must have been on drugs when they thought of half these characters. Like Ironhide and Kicker. Anyway, Snowcat only has one major thing to do in Energon, and that's where he doesn't really get much of a choice. He gets told to do it, I believe, and he's told, and he's the one that tells Six-Shot that his brother Shockblast has been killed by Optimus Prime, and that's about all he does. Snowcat, along with Demolisher, are very much the comic relief duo, as I said earlier on, and it, depending on how you want to view it, I mean, I imagine if you're past the age of 10 or maybe 12, Snowcat and Demolisher are nothing short of irritating. I mean, the episode where they're doing a training episode, and of course the Autobots have the ability to power link, which for some reason the Decepticons don't, and Snowcat and Demolisher suddenly notice this and realise this and think, well, hang on, why don't we try and power links? And they do, and they fall over. I mean, to a 9-year-old, I imagine that's actually quite funny. To everybody else, it's just stupid. And yes, Snowcat, sorry, that's pretty much all he does. He provides the comic relief. He incessantly yodels whilst he's skiing through space. I didn't write this. And he doesn't have a gun. His weaponry is these two things on either side of him here. I don't know what they're supposed to be in the Snowcat version. I don't know. Is it a snowblower? I don't know. And which he seems to be able to fire an insane amount of shots over his shoulder. But anyway, right now in the Dreamwave Armada comic books, no, Energon comic books, sorry. Snowcat appears to meet his end, because he's supposedly killed. Naturally enough, you're never really too sure whether a Transformer dies or not. And he's killed by Generation 1 Galvatron. Guess who came up with that? Anyway, his most interesting incarnation would probably be in the Transformers universe line, where Snowcat, for absolutely no apparent reason, has got himself a nice new paint job. Green and black, I believe. And he's living out in the wastes of Cybertron, and the polar wastes of Cybertron, from the Decepticon city of Kaon. Kaon. I don't know. And because he has got absolutely no sense of purpose, he's basically been driven a bit insane by this point. And he just starts randomly attacking anybody that shows up. You know. Personally, I don't think the Snowcat needs to attack anybody. He just needs to, catch them, tie them down, and force them to listen to his yodeling, because that'll kill everybody slowly, in great pain. But anyway, on to the toy. Now, Snowcat is part of the energon line, obviously, and the energon line tends to be a lot nicer than the Armada line, which is, with one or two exceptions, fucking pants. Oh, hang on a second. There you go. There we go. I don't know whether you're actually supposed to be able to do that, but you can give him kind of like skis for his wheels. Now, this toy is a homage to the G.I. Joe toy of a Snowcat, and looks very similar to it, but it's not quite the same size. Yes, it's actually smaller, I think. I think the actual G.I. Joe one is actually much bigger. Onto his transformation, anyway. All the Energon toys, of course, transform very similar, well, I wouldn't say very similar, but almost identical to their toy counterpart, character counterparts in the TV series. And as such, they're notoriously simple. And it just mainly involves folding everything back into place, lifting the arms out, pushing up the head, and then depending on how you want to display it, I keep Snowcat looking like that, so the gun things are there. But to be honest, there's really no set way of doing it. I mean, you could probably have them like that, or even have them standing further out like that. I think it's really up to you. I mean, the instruction manual does give a specific one, and I think it's that one, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, pull his legs apart. Okay, yes. Now, Energon Snowcat, of course. The toy does, of course, come with the skis. Though I believe the instruction manual actually refers to it as, because they've got a secondary ability where they can transform into kind of like so you could say it's kind of like an artillery platform. You can just fold them up like that, and then you've got Snowcat as an artillery platform, and these skis could be stabilised or something like that, I don't know. Naturally enough, it does have, getting good at that, spring-loaded missile launchers, both of them. Oh, that spring's getting a little weak. But then I've had this toy for God knows how many years now. I think I've pretty much had this toy actually since about 2004, so I've had it a good 4 years. Not a bad one. Not a bad one for the Energon range. I actually quite like this one, but then I do like most of the Energon range, apart from Hotshot, which is just weird. No, certainly not an ugly toy. Okay, he's got bright pink ski glasses, and he's very blocky, and he's got, looks like a growth. But there we go. But as I said, not a bad toy for the Energon range, and for the time it came out. It's not a bad toy at all. eBay, I don't know how much Snowcat will set you back on eBay, because, well, I didn't even look. I don't think he's been around very often. But then I've never because I've had him, I've never specifically searched for him. I've always used unless I'm looking through random random Transformer auctions to see if there's anything I can pick up on a whim. But yes, so I don't actually know how much he'll set you back on eBay. I can't imagine it'd be that expensive loose. Though naturally, with it being a Transformer, finding the missiles for it'll be the fun part. But yes, that is Energon Snowcat done. nothing else really I can say about it. So I will sign off for now. So this is Silverbolt with Snowcat signing off, saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.